So Zero Error Racing, Yamaha Senior. Pulling onto the track now for our first racing event of the day, qualifying complete. Cody Evans will be on the pole in the number 4. Evans on the top card. On the outside will be Derek Hughes, yesterday's winner. Hughes will start second. Patrick Olson inside row number 2. Olson in the number 45. Outside of Olson will be Chase Jones. Jones in the number 17. Darren Brubaker and Colin Griffin go off in row number 3. Brett Schneider, Dakota Pesic, and Nick Landy will complete your 9-card starting field for Yamaha Senior. Looking for a green flag here. And no green from starter Denny Long. So we'll look for a green here this time with Cody Evans on the pole and Derek Hughes on the outside. And there it is, green flag in the air, going racing in Yamaha Senior pre-final action. Yeah. Hughes jumps out to the lead. Evans back to second. Hughes looking to sweep the weekend in Yamaha Senior. Now Hughes going to slide back to the second spot. Good battling back there. 4th place on back. Side by side as they come down the hill through turns 6 and 7. Side by side for the lead. And now second place as Hughes doing battle with the number 4 of Evans and the 45 of Patrick Olson. Right now, give it to Evans out front. Hughes settles into second, Olson in third. They race about 5 kart lengths ahead of your 4th place driver. Olson going to look to the inside of Hughes into turn number 1. They're side by side, still side by side on exit, but Hughes riding the top lane. They're able to hold off Olson as they go down the back straightaway here at the GoPro Motorplex. Into turn number 4. Off of 4. Through the S's into turn 6 and 7. Battle back there for the 5th spot, Darren Brubaker battling with Chase Jones, and Jones will take over the position. Brubaker back to 6th. So Hughes going to work on the number 4 of Evans as they go into turn number 1, working lap number 3 now. Here's Hughes looking to the top now. He's all over the 4 of Evans. Side by side off of turn number 8. Hughes looking to slingshot Evans. Now Hughes goes to the inside, going to bring Olsen with him. And Evans will slide back into the 4th spot. Now Olsen goes to the inside of Hughes in your final corner as they come down the front stretch. 3 wide now, 4 top carts, and then 1 arrow battling it out at the front of the field. Down the long back straightaway they go. Give the lead to Patrick Olsen, who now rides about 5 cart lengths ahead of second place. Hughes has slid back to the 4th position. It's Olsen, Evans, the 17 of Jones, and Hughes, your top 4. Pesek rounding out the top 5 now. Good race here in Yamaha Senior. 9 laps is the distance. Remember, the 8th place finisher in today's main event for Yamaha Senior will win the set of Bridgestones for Daytona Kart Week. Hughes picked up the set with yesterday's win. Came up earlier to the tower, drew the number 8, meaning the 8th place finisher in today's main event will win the set of Bridgestones for this December's Daytona Sprint Championships. Wow, Hughes gets it sideways there in turn 8. Keeps it going. Single file right now, working lap number 5 in this 9-lapper. Off of turn 11, it's Patrick Olsen out front. Evans 2nd, Jones 3rd, Hughes 4th, Pesek in 5th, Nick Landy 6th, Darren Brubaker 7th. Brett Schneider is 8th, and Colin Griffin is in 9th. Now a battle for the lead. It's Cody Evans going to the inside of Olsen. Hughes has taken over the 3rd spot. Pesek now moves up to 4th. Side by side coming down the hill. It's going to be the number 4 of Cody Evans out front of Olsen, with Hughes riding right there in 3rd. Pesek 4th. Chase Jones in 5th. Those 5 drivers have broken away from Nick Landy, who rides in 6th. And he's 10 to 15 cart lengths back of your 5th place runner. Six laps now in the books for Cody Evans. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Pesek at a 51 flat. Three-cart breakaway now. Evans, Olsen, Hughes, 1, 2, 3 have moved away just a bit from the 79 of Pesek. Off of turn 8. Now through the turn 9 complex. Still Evans out front of Olsen. Will be 2 laps left to go this time by. 2 to go for the number 4 of Cody Evans. Olsen. See what he can do with him. Olsen, a multi-time WKA national champion there, riding in 2nd. Hughes, yesterday's winner, sits in 3rd. Now it looks like Hughes taking a peek to the inside of Olsen. Won't be able to make the move. Single file into turn 8. Still Evans, Pesek, Hughes, 1, 2, 3. Check that. Olsen 2nd, Hughes 3rd. Pesek is now 4th, and he's closed the gap on your top 3. And he's brought Chase Jones with him in the number 17. Off of turn number 11. White flag in the air. One more time around for Cody Evans. Here's Pesek going to the inside of Hughes, and they make contact there in turn 1, and Hughes is off of the track through the grass, and it looks like he's going to be out of this one. May have damaged the right front there on Hughes's cart. When Pesek went to the inside in turn 1, contact was made, and rather than pulling back out onto the track, Hughes parked it over there off of turn 2. So a tough break for Hughes. It's still Evans out front of Pesic, 1-2. Those two drivers now way ahead of third place, and it looks like Evans is going to be good in this one as they come back down the hill one last time into turns 10 and 11. Off of turn 11 for the last time. Checkered flag in the air and give it to Cody Evans in the number 4. Olson second. Chase Jones third. Landy will take 4th, so Nick Landy able to pick up a few spots there with the Pesic-Hughes incident on the last lap. Pesic will take 5th, Brubaker 6th, Schneider 7th, Griffin 8th, and Hughes will complete your field one lap down. Comet Sportsman set to come out onto the track. Tag Senior will follow. Tag drivers, make your way to the grid for your pre-final. On the pole will be Brandon Lemke. Lemke in the 01. On the outside, Giovanni Bermonti in the 33. Inside row number 2 will be John Paul Southern Jr. and on the outside, Sam Mayer in the number 21. Only 4 carts set to go, 9 laps. And the green flag is out for Comet Sportsman. Pre-final action. So 4 carts out there, and all 4 of them tight together as they go down the backstretch, working lap number 3. It's Bramante out front. Now Lemke takes the lead over from Bramante. Southern right there in the 3rd spot, and Sam Mayer right there in 4th. So some good battling here in Comet Sportsman. Lemke comes down the front straightaway one more time to put 3 laps in the books. Bramante, Southern, and Mayer. Now Mayer sliding back just a little bit. He needs to stay up on the wheel there. Keep pace with your top 3, as those 3 drivers now look like they're inching away from Wisconsin's Sam Mayer. Mayer's a winner this year in Man Cup. Won, I believe it was a Yamaha Sportsman race at Kershaw earlier this season, round number 2. Still Lemke out front of Bramante. Four laps down, 5 left to go for Brandon Lemke. Lemke, your big feature winner in Man Cup in 2013. Numerous wins as he's on his way to a WKA Triple Crown Championship. Right now, he's out front, leading this one of Giovanni Bramante. Tag Senior, you're out next. Tag Senior, you should be on the grid. You are next. After Tag will be Rookie. Be 2 laps left to go this time by for Lemke. Mayer's closed the gap back up on 3rd place Southern. See if Bramante has anything for Lemke as we get into the late stages of this pre-final. 2 laps left to go for Brandon Lemke. Giovanni Bramante right there. A Merlin leading a top cart. And a lead change. Bramante takes over the top spot from Lemke back there in turn number 4. So your new leader in New York's Giovanni Bramante now out front of Brandon Lemke. We'll see if he can hold on here with less than a lap and a half remaining around this GoPro Motorplex. Now here's Lemke back to the inside into turns 10 and 11, and Lemke will retake the lead. Bramante back to second. White flag in the air for Brandon Lemke. Now Bramante dives to the inside into turn 1, and Bramante will retake the lead. Lemke looks to slingshot him off of 1, can't do it. So Giovanni Bramante leads down the back straightaway. Now Sam Mayer's right there as he closes the gap on your leaders. And Lemke goes to the inside. Mayer will follow through. So out of nowhere comes Sam Mayer to take over the second spot. Bramante goes back to third. Southern still in fourth. Down the hill now. Come into turn number 8. It's still Lemke. 2 Merlins now, 1-2, with Lemke in front of Mayer. Bramante in third, Southern still fourth. Here they come into turns 11 and 12 one last time. Looks like Lemke will be good here. Off of turn number 11, still single file. Give the win to Brandon Lemke. Second place to Mayer. Third place, Bramante. And fourth place, John Paul Southern Jr. So a good race there in Comet Sportsman. We'll see those drivers out later today in the Comet Sportsman feature event, as well as Yamaha Sportsman. Most all of them run Yamaha and Cadet Sportsman. $16 drivers set to go. OTK, Kart USA, Tag Senior is the class. On the pole out of Rochester Hills, Michigan, on the FA kart will be Derek Dignan. On the outside of Dignan, out of Oviedo, Florida, is Jonathan Kotick. Kotick suffered an injury yesterday, and his relief driver is Dustin Strauss. Roger Ralston Jr., yesterday's tag winner, will be on the inside of row number 2. Andrew Bedoso in the number 21 PCR. He's on the outside. Cal Stewart in the number 9. He's on the inside of row 3. Stewart out of Illinois. And on the outside, on an FA card, will be Dusty Davis. Davis in the number 7. Inside row 4, the number 25, Garrett Johnston. Johnston on a top card on the outside. Also on a top card out of New Hope, PA, is Mark Bowes. Inside row 5, Jake Johnson in the 08, and on the outside will be Chase Jones. Jones on a top cart, number 71. Inside row at number 6, Sam Watson. Watson out of Belmont, North Carolina, in the 31. On the outside, Austin Cindric. Cindric in the number 79. Ayrton Climo and Nick Landy, row 7. And Roman Tritek back there in row number 8. Green flag in the air for Tag Senior, going racing here. Dignan jumps out to the lead. Ralston into second. I believe that's Bedoso settling into third on lap number 1. So Dignan ran the Rotax yesterday. He's switched to an X30 today. And he's out front right now of the Rotax-powered kart of Roger Ralston Jr. Both those drivers on FA chassis. Both have a lot of laps around Mooresville this season. Here they come into turn number 11 for the first time in this pre-final. It's Dignan, Ralston, Bedoso, Dusty Davis, and Garrett Johnston rounding out your top 5. So an X30 out front of a Rotax as they go down the backstretch. Dignan's had a good season in Man Cup, won a couple of races down at Kershaw in round 2. He was on an Arrow back then, switched to an FA car about mid-season, and he's been fast ever since. Now here's Ralston to the inside, and Ralston will take over the lead. Dignan, though, slingshots him off of turn number 8 and give the lead back to Derek Dignan. Ralston still second, but also having a good run there in third. Dusty Davis is up to fourth with Garrett Johnson rounding out your top 5. Off of turn number 11, 2 laps down. Dignan, your leader. Bedoso now moves up into the second spot. Ralston sliding back through the top 5. He's back to fourth. Dusty Davis takes over the third spot. Ralston back to fourth, just ahead of Johnston. Still Dignan out front now with 3 or 4 kart lengths on Bedoso's PCR. Working lap number 3 in this 9-lap pre-final. Dignan pulling away on that X30 up to about 5 kart lengths as they come down the front stretch. Dignan on the X30 followed by 3 Rotaxes with Bedoso, Davis, and Ralston second, third, and fourth. Garrett and Jake Johnston rounding out your top 6. So Strauss with a good qualifying run, finished second in qualifying on the Kotick ride, but he's mired back there in about the 9th position. Doing battle with the 77 of Ayrton Climo. Give the spot there to Strauss. Now Strauss gets bumped off the track just a little bit. Some hard battling back there, about 10th spot on back. Meanwhile, Bedoso getting shuffled back as Dusty Davis has moved into the second spot. Ralston up to third. Look at that, 3 FA karts. 1, 2, 3 with Dignan, Davis, and Ralston out front. All 3 of those drivers, a lot of laps around this track. Dignan was here last weekend for the club race. Back down here from Michigan this weekend. And he's got a good lead now on that X30 powered FA kart. Be 5 laps down on Dusty Davis. Davis just ahead of Ralston. Now Ralston dives to the inside. Boy, Davis does not get off turn number 8 the way he needs to. We saw it in practice, and again right there, as Ralston had a big head of steam and shot to the inside of Davis off of turn 8. Not a spot you normally see a lot of passing here at the GoPro Motorplex, but Davis not up to snuff on the exit of turn 8, and he loses a spot there. Meanwhile, Jake Johnston closing the gap on Davis for the third spot. And Garrett Johnston back there. Check that, Mark Bowes back there in 5th. There you see it once again. Davis slow off of turn 8 and shooting to the inside is Jake Johnson. And Jake Johnson will take over the third spot. Davis back to 4th. So Davis is quick around this track other than the exit of turn 8. He loses all sorts of ground there. The karts behind him about to run him over. And he's going to lose another spot as he goes back to 5th in turn number 1 with Bowes diving to the inside. Now here's Davis back to the inside of Bose as they go down the back straightaway, and Davis will retake the number 4 spot. Bose shoots back by him, though. Bodoso's also right there, as is Garrett Johnston. Good racing back there in the top 5, the latter half of the top 5. Now Bodoso gives Davis a little shove there off of turn 8. Won't make the move. All Derek Dignan out front, though. 2 laps left to go for Dignan. Good racing here in Tag Senior. Pre-final action. Dignan will get the white flag this time by. He's out front of Ralston and Jake Johnston. Then you have Garrett Johnston now into the 4th spot. Davis still in 5th. Bodoso takes a look to the inside of Davis for the 5th spot. Doesn't make the move into turn number 9. Dignan takes a look over his shoulder, sees nobody behind as Ralston 1.3 seconds back of your leader. White flag in the air, all drivers go by. Oh, looks like Klimo gets off back there and takes a wild spin. I believe that's Klimo, is riding in about the 7th spot. This one's all Derek Dignan, though, as they go into turns 10 and 11 for the final time. Meanwhile, Davis, heavy contact there with another driver, as Davis just cannot get off of 8, and boy, that cost him, as he's lost several spots. That was the 72 of Bose and Davis getting together. And meanwhile, Strauss gets back up to 6th there at the end in the Kotick ride. So Dignan takes the win by 1.1 seconds over Ralston. Ralston sets the fast lap of the race at a 47.560. Jake Johnston 3rd, Garrett Johnston 4th, Cal Stewart 5th, Kotick 6th, Bodoso 7th, Bose 8th, Dusty Davis 9th, and Watson in 10th. So an X30 bests a Rotax there, and then another couple of X30s in 3rd and 4th, and Cal Stewart, not certain what he's on, he was 5th. So Yamaha rookies set to hit the track next after a good Tag Senior pre-final. 16 drivers set to go 9 laps in rookie. On the pole, yesterday's winner out of Darien, Illinois, on a Burrell chassis, it's Max Kowalski. Kowalski in the number 02. On the outside, in the deuce, top cart, Out of Hackettstown, New Jersey, it is Connor Ferris. Your point leader coming into today, looking to wrap up the national championship, goes off inside row number 2. It's Mark J. Finnis. Finnis in the number 05 Burrell. On the outside of Finnis is Tyler Ferris in the number 28. Griffin Coons inside row 3 in the 21 Praga. On the outside, Gage Rogers in the number 1 Burrell. Inside row number 4, Jeremy Fairbairn out of Wellington, Florida. Fairbairn on an AM chassis, number 87. On the outside, Donald Horton the second on a Tony Kart. Your 9th and 10th starters will be Luca Mars. Mars in the number 88 Praga. And on the outside, also on a Praga, is Robert Noacre III. Caleb Tate and Tyler Maxson in row number 6. Brian Tremper Jr., Ryan Detlor, row 7, and Caleb Bacon and Andrew Bishey back there in row number 8. Rookie drivers on the track, age 7 to 10. So Kowalski picked up the win yesterday and won the set of Bridgestones for Daytona. Came up here and drew a number from a hat, and he drew number 1 this morning. So today's winner as well in rookie will win the set of Bridgestones for Daytona. Kowalski looking to win 2 sets, and all the other drivers out there looking to pick up 1 set for Daytona Kart Week. A nice award posted by Bridgestone and Grand Products to help out with the cost of some of these teams and drivers as we near the 2013 version of Daytona Kart Week and the Margay Sprint Championships. Green flag is in the air. We've gone racing here in rookie, and everybody's made it through the first handful of corners. Looks like Kowalski out front. I believe that's Finnis settling into second. And Connor Ferris is in third. As things shake out here in the opening lap, some good battle back there for fourth. It's a Praga chassis going to the inside. Nice looking karts out there in rookie. Nice helmets too. A lot of nice paint jobs. One lap down, it's Kowalski, Finnis, Connor Ferris, Coons, and Fairbairn rounding out your top 5. Cadet Sportsman, you're out next. Cadet drivers and teams, you should be on the grid. You are out next. It's Kowalski out front of Finnis. 3-kart breakaway, Kowalski, Finnis, and Connor Ferris. 1, 2, 3. They ride a good 20-25 kart lengths ahead of your 4th place runner, Jeremy Fairbairn. Griffin Coons and Tyler Ferris, 5th and 6th. So the driver riding in second is your point leader, Mark J. Finnis. And has a nice lead, a nice padding coming into today after finishing second in yesterday's rookie main event. And if he stays right up there in the top 5, there'll be no beating him in the points, and he'll pick up a rookie national championship in the Man Cup. So we'll keep an eye on the points battle in this rookie class and all the classes this afternoon. 11 national championships to be decided. And Mark J. Finnis has moved to the top spot. Kowalski settles into second. And Connor Ferris in third. As those three drivers still way out front of the rest of the field. You have a trio of karts out front and then three karts riding nose to tail, 4th through 6th with Fairbairn, Coons, and Tyler Ferris. Tyler and Connor Ferris, cousins from New Jersey. Connor right now in 3rd, Tyler back there in 6th. Gage Rogers is 7th on the Burrell. Donald Horton, the 2nd, is 3rd, or rather 8th. Luca Mars 9th, and Noacre rounding out your top 10. Six laps down for the 0-2. Max Kowalski, Mark J. Finnis still 2nd, and Connor Ferris in 3rd. Past halfway in this rookie pre-final. Drivers have done a really good job this year in the Man Cup. Our youngest drivers in competition, age 7 to 10. And we've had some really good fields, over 25 of them at a couple of our races. Down a little bit here this weekend, 16 took the green flag. It's been one of the largest classes all season, and we've seen some great racing. 3rd year that rookie has been in the Man Cup, and it has grown every year, and it's good to see good fields and good interest in this class with drivers so young getting into the karting sport early, and of course hopefully staying in it for a while. 2 laps left to go. 3 wide into turn number 1 for the lead, and give it to Finnis. Finnis takes the lead away from Kowalski, and Ferris in 3rd. So these drivers having a great race, and they'll be battling for a set of Bridgestones in the main event. Well, right now trying to settle this 9-lap pre-final. Drivers will get the white flag this time by. Here's Kowalski back to the inside of Finnis in turn number 8, and Kowalski retakes the lead. Now Ferris moves in to 2nd, Finnis back to 3rd. So Ferris up into the 2nd spot for the first time in this race. Here's Finnis back to the inside in turn 11, and Finnis will retake the 2nd spot. Ferris back to 3rd. White flag in the air. Kowalski going to protect the bottom into turn 1. Finnis gets a nice run off of 1 as Kowalski running that inside line. Certainly didn't get off the corner the way he needed to, and that allowed Finnis to reclose the gap as they go down the back straightaway into turn 4. It's still Kowalski just ahead of Mark J. Finnis, with Connor Ferris now a couple of kart lengths back in 3rd. Then your second trio there, they've closed the gap just a little bit. Probably going to run out of time here with about a half lap left. Kowalski closes the door into the hairpin on Finnis. It's still Kowalski out front of Finnis as they go through the turn 9 complex. Here's Finnis taking a look to the inside of Kowalski into turn 10. Not going to be able to make the move. Has nothing for him in turn 11 either. Checkered flag is out. Side by side at the stripe. And boy, that was less than a kart length, half a kart length there, but give the win to Max Kowalski. Finnis will take 2nd by a half a kart length or thereabouts. Connor Ferris 3rd. Tyler Ferris 4th. Jeremy Fairbairn 5th. Griffin Coons 6th. Luca Mars, Gage Rogers, Donald Horton, and Robert Noacre will round out your top 10. So a good race there for our rookie competitors. We'll see them back out later today for their 15-lap main event. Cadet Sportsman is out next. And after Cadet will be High Torque, sponsored Comet Pro. Comet Pro to the grid. You're on the track after Cadet, which will be out on the track here in just a couple of minutes. So Cadet on the track now. Devin Bateau will be on the pole. Bateau out of Naples, Florida on the Tony kart. On the outside, out of Eagle, Wisconsin on the Merlin, it's Brandon Lemke. Lemke in the number 01. Lemke, your point leader in Cadet. Inside, row number 2, John Paul Southern Jr. in the number 20, PCR. He's out of Westlake, Ohio. On the outside, Luke Finnis in the number 3, Burrell chassis out of Zionsville, Indiana. Giovanni Bermonti on the inside of row number 3. Bermonti out of Glen Cove, New York. On a top card on the outside is Alex Lester in the number 19 Praga chassis. Lance Fenderson and Paulie Massimino, a couple of top cards back there in row number 4. 8 carts set to do battle, so the Sportsman field's down quite a bit this weekend. A lot of drivers, several drivers, have moved up already into the junior ranks. And the green flag is out, set to go racing for 9 laps in Cadet Sportsman. Bateau jumps out to the lead. Southern settles into second, and Lemke back to third on the start. Here's Southern now going to the inside of Bateau into turn number 8. Lemke going to come with him. Bateau back to third. Working lap number 1. Finnis is right there in fourth. Single file down the front stretch. It's Southern, Lemke, Bateau, Finnis, and Lance Fenderson, your top 5. They have broken away from the rest of the field. So things shaking out here in the early stages of this Cadet Sportsman pre-final. It's Southern and Lemke out front as they have inched away from the rest of the field. It's like Fenderson has moved up to the third spot. Bateau back to fourth. And Finnis is rounding out your top 5. Pretty good run there for Luke Finnis as he rides behind Devin Bateau, your pole sitter. So you have a PCR out front with Southern, Merlin riding in second with Lemke, top cart in third, Fenderson, Tony kart fourth in Bateau, and Burrell rounding out your top 5 in Luke Finnis. Be 4 laps down this time for Cadets. Comet Pro is out next. High Torque Comet Pro, you should be on the grid. Yamaha Junior will follow. Halfway home now. 4 down, 5 left to go in this 9-lap pre-final. 2-cart breakaway. Meanwhile, the rest of the field pretty much nose to tail now. So you have Southern and Lemke out front, then third place on back, all pretty close, with Fenderson, Bateau, Finnis, then a couple of top carts. Yeah. Penalty to announce for rookie pre-final, the number 13, Tremper Jr., a 5-position penalty for contact with the number 8. Still Southern out front of Lemke. Now side by side for the 5th spot, as Finnis is going to go back to 6th at the hands of Giovanni Bermonti. Massimino and Alex Lester 7th and 8th. Be 8 laps down here for John Paul Southern Jr. White flag will be in the air from starter Denny Long. Lemke goes to the inside, and Lemke takes over the lead in turn 11 from Southern. Now Lemke will go on the defense for the remainder of this lap, trying to hold Southern back. Lemke makes the move as they come to the white flag. We'll see what Southern can do here. Side by side down the back. Southern pulling out to the outside. Some good speed there, but not able to clear Lemke and make the pass, so Southern still rides in second just behind Brandon Lemke. Here they come down the hill, going to go into turn 8. Lemke going to protect the bottom. No choice for Southern but to go to the top. Now we're going to try to slingshot him here. Can't do it. Meanwhile, the rest of your field has closed the gap. Here's Bateau and Fenderson side by side for third. Nobody can make a move. Finnis is back up to 5th. Still Lemke out front of Southern off of turn number 11. We'll see if Southern can get a run on him. He will not be able to. Lemke takes the win. Southern 2nd. Fenderson 3rd. Bateau 4th. Finnis 5th. Bermonti 6th. Massimino and Lester rounding out your field. So a good final lap there. Kind of a boring race until the last lap. And then things got pretty interesting. And once again, Brandon Lemke knows how to put that Merlin at the front of the field and knows how to keep it there on the last lap. Been tough to beat all season and picks up the win in that pre-final. Almost 1 o'clock Eastern time here in Mooresville, North Carolina. About halfway through our pre-finals. High Torque Comet Pro is out next, followed by Verde Speed Resources Yamaha Junior. Comet Pro on the track now. Patrick Olson, Cody Evans on your front row. Cole Peterson, Darren Brubaker, row 2. Bobby Cummings, Brett Schneider, row 3. And back there in row 4, that is Ashley Rajero. She is on the Jonathan Kotick ride. Relief driver is Rajero, has to start scratch in the pre-final per WKA rules. Green flag is out, so we'll keep an eye on Rajero, see what she can do here. And she's already picked up a couple spots as they go down the backstretch. Olson has jumped out to the lead. Cole Peterson settles into second. Brubaker now third. Here's Brubaker to the inside of Peterson, and Brubaker makes a nice pass in turn 8. 3 wide here. Here's Rajero to the inside of Peterson. Rajero's going to slide now to the inside and take over third spot just behind Darren Brubaker. Now Rajero looks to the inside of Brubaker in turn 11. They're side by side coming down the front stretch. Rajero gets some help from behind, contact there, and Rajero will take sole possession of that number 2 position. Brubaker is still getting bounced around there. One cart off the track. I believe that's a top cart of Evans. And Evans will lose a handful of spots there, gets back on, and he settles into the 7th and final spot. So Olson, big lead for Patrick Olson, with Rajero now in second. And those 2 drivers have moved away from the field. Good battling back there for third place on back between Brubaker, Peterson, Evans, Cummings, and Brett Schneider. So already a 3.5 second lead for Patrick Olson, the Wisconsin driver. Way out front, started from the pole, looking to pick up the $300 prize for best overall finisher in Comet Pro this weekend. We'll check the lap times this time by, see if Rajero is closing the gap at all. Yamaha Junior, you should be on the grid. You are out next. And Rajero not closing the gap. Man, Olsen is quick. He's about a half a second a lap faster than anyone else out there. A 50.3 is Olsen's best time. Rajero's best time of 51 flat, so about 7/10 quicker is Patrick Olsen, then Rajero, who rides in second, Peterson third, Brubaker fourth, Schneider fifth, Cody Evans and Bobby Cummings back there 6 and 7. Yamaha Junior, you're out next. You should be on the grid after Yamaha Junior will be Tag Masters. Margay Racing Products Tag Masters. You will follow the next class out, which is Yamaha Junior. 7th place finisher in today's Yamaha Junior main event will win the set of Bridgestones for Daytona. Keep that in mind. The 7th place finisher in Yamaha Junior will win a free set of Bridgestones for this December's Daytona Sprint Championships. Two laps left to go for Patrick Olsen. Big lead for Olsen. Check the interval here. 6-second lead for Olsen over Kotick. Now battle back there for the 4th spot. And give it to Bobby Cummings, who goes to the inside of Schneider. Take over 4th, Schneider into 5th. Brubaker's 6th. And Cody Evans has just taken over the 6th spot back there in turn number 4. A bit of a bump and run there for Evans on Brubaker. White flag will be in the air, no doubt about this one. It's Patrick Olsen's to lose here. Over a 6-second lead on Rajero, who's subbing for Kotick. So Rajero just needs to finish right there in that 2nd spot in the final, and Kotick will unofficially be your national champion in this Comet Pro. A nice purse for Comet Pro, $300 to win each weekend. And the national champion, which appears it'll be Kotick, going to win $2,000 and a KPV engine kit. Sponsored by High Torque, the Scott Chalutz, Mason Chalutz team, sponsoring Comet Pro this year. And putting up a nice awards package for the class. And this is the final weekend. We'll have KPV only in senior in Man Cup. Starting at Daytona, it will be senior piston port. Yamahas will go up against the Comet piston valve engine. Checkered flag in the air. It's Olsen over Kotick. Peterson in third, Cummings fourth, Schneider fifth, Evans sixth, and Brubaker in seventh. And Verde Speed Resources, Yamaha Junior pulling out onto the track. Biggest class of the day, 21 entrants. On the pole, yesterday's winner out of Williamsburg, Virginia. On the arrow, it's Gresham Wagner. On the outside, out of Ashburn, Virginia. On a Burrell, it's Matt Solarczyk. Inside of row number 2, out of Ohio, it's the number 82, Braden Eves on the PCR. And on the outside, out of Chicago, the number 9, Top Cart, David Malukas. Inside row number 3 is Austin McCusker out of Glenhead, New York. McCusker on the Haas chassis. On the outside, the number 88, Top Cart out of Mason, Ohio, it's Emerson Reed. Neil Verhagen and Andre Castro go off in row number 4. Nick Ludicky and Zach Holden back there in row 5 as we'll look for a green flag here. Couple of Virginia drivers on your front row, Wagner and Solarczyk. Green flag in the air, we're going racing. 9 laps the distance, Yamaha Junior, biggest class of the day. Solarczyk jumps out to the lead. Wagner back to second. Big contact, several drivers around back there in turn number 3. And they'll get back going. One arrow, one PCR. Can't make out the drivers just yet. Maybe Verhagen on the arrow. I believe it is. And now a few other carts around over here in turn 7. So a tough break for several drivers on our opening lap. That was the 22 and the 8 there getting around, the 0 rather. I believe that's Savannah Fitzgerald. Still some hard battles here as they come down the front stretch. Jarsakrak, McCusker, all right there battling for the 6th spot. Penalty for Comet Pro, last class, number 4, Cody Evans. One position penalty for contact. So things shaking out here in the early going. 4-cart breakaway. Here's Solarczyk to the inside of Wagner. Won't be able to make the move. It's Wagner your leader. Solarczyk second. Eves in third and Malukas riding in 4th. Emerson Reed back there in the 5th spot. So keep an eye on Malukas. The number 9 Top Cart goes to the inside now of Eves, and David Malukas takes over the 3rd spot. Eves back to 4th. Malukas very strong in his first weekend in the junior ranks in Man Cup. Won KPV Junior yesterday, and right now rides in 3rd spot in this Yamaha Junior pre-final. Gresham Wagner's the driver to beat, though. Won Yamaha Junior yesterday, won the set of Bridgestones for Daytona. And right now, out front in this pre-final, swept qualifying earlier today in the junior ranks. Solarczyk riding pretty strong there in 2nd. Doesn't have his Burrell teammates here this weekend. Grant Quinlan not here, nor is Mike McAndrews. Those 2 drivers have been racing on the MRP Burrells in Man Cup throughout the season, but neither one of them making the trip south this weekend. Still the arrow of Wagner out front, but here's Malukas closing the gap on Matt Solarczyk. Malukas going to work on Solarczyk, looking to take over the second spot. They race just ahead of Braden Eves. And Emerson Reed back there rounding out the top 5 ahead of your point leader, Brandon Jarsakrak. So Wagner, a lot of laps around Mooresville this season and making it show this weekend as he's out front of Solarczyk and Malukas. Jumbled up a little bit there over in turn 11. Malukas thought about making a move, couldn't do it. Here's Solarczyk to the inside of Wagner in turn 1 and give it to Matt Solarczyk. Wagner back to second. Here's Malukas to the inside. Side by side down the back straightaway. Wagner on the outside, Malukas on the inside, but Wagner is able to fend him off as they race just ahead of Eves. Working halfway now, just past lap number 4, working lap number 5. Your new leader is Matt Solarczyk. Couple of Virginia drivers, 1-2 with Solarczyk leading, Gresham Wagner, and then Chicago's David Malukas rides in third with Ohio's Braden Eves in fourth, and then another Buckeye riding in fifth. It is Emerson Reed, just ahead of Jarsakrak and McCusker. A couple of Haas chassis there in 5th and 6th. But here's Malukas to the inside of Wagner and give the second spot to the number 9 of David Malukas. Nice move there by David in turn number 11, and Malukas takes over the second spot. Wagner shuffled back to third. Eves still riding right there in 4th. Wagner gives Malukas a good shove going into turn number 4. Now Eves to the inside of Wagner through the S's. Eves will take over the third spot. Malukas still there in second, just behind Solarczyk. We'll see if Malukas makes a move on Solarczyk, and he does. To the inside of turn number 8. Give the lead to David Malukas. He's strong right now on that top cart. First weekend on a top cart, moving over from the MRP Burrell. And Malukas looking good right now as he leads the Burrell of Matt Solarczyk. They come down the front stretch to put 6 laps in the books. It's Malukas, Solarczyk, Eves, Gresham Wagner, and Emerson Reed still rounding out the top 5. Yamaha Junior is the class. Good race right now, your largest class of the day, as Wagner goes back to the inside of Braden Eves, and Wagner will take over the third spot. Eves back to 4th. That was a pass in turn number 4. Meanwhile, Emerson Reed has closed the gap and caught up to your top 4 and brought Jarsakrak and McCusker with him, as you have your top 7 nose to tail as they'll come around and get the 2-lap to go signal, this time by from starter Denny Long. It's Malukas, Solarczyk, Wagner. Now Solarczyk to the inside of Malukas in turn 11, and Solarczyk will retake the lead, but Malukas dives back to the inside as they come down the front stretch, and Malukas will retake the lead in turn number 1. Brings Wagner with him. Here's Emerson Reed to the inside of Eves as they go down the back straightaway. And finally making a pass is Emerson Reed. He was stuck there in 5th the entire race, and he finally gets by Eves, who's going to slide all the way back to 7th at the hands of Jarsakrak and McCusker. So Eves goes from 5th to 7th in just one corner, 4th to 7th rather. It's Wagner out front. He's taken the lead away from Malukas as those drivers in the back half of the top 5 were doing battle. Gresham Wagner made the move and the pass on David Malukas as the drivers will get the white flag signal this time by. Here's Malukas to the inside in turn 11. Wagner gets way high off of 11 through the grass. Going to lose several positions as he dives low, 3 wide into turn number 1. Contact there. Malukas almost gets around. Malukas going to lose 6 spots as he slides all the way back to 7th. Some contact in turn 1. And now Solarczyk way out front. And it looks like this one will be Matt Solarczyk with that contact in turn 1. All those drivers losing a lot of ground. Wagner was able to go from 5th up to 2nd. And Malukas loses several positions, now back there in the 7th spot. Jarsakrak taking a look to the inside. Really good race in here. Emerson Reed just ahead of Malukas as they ride 7th and 8th, I believe. We'll catch up on the action and the results here as your leader comes off of turn 11. Checkered in the air. Solarczyk takes the win. Gives second to Wagner. Third place to McCusker. Fourth place out of nowhere was Andre Castro. Fifth place, Brandon Jarsakrak. Sixth will go to Braden Eves. Seventh place, Emerson Reed. And eighth place, David Malukas. Killian Caveni, ninth, and Nolan Rocco will round out your top 10. So a terrific race in Yamaha Juniors. Some hard battles. Several different leaders throughout that 9-lapper. But give the win to the Burrell driver, the only Burrell in the field, Matt Solarczyk, scores the win over Wagner. Those two drivers will start 1-2 in the main event. Tag Master is set to go. Got to clear a couple carts off the track here before we can get 11 drivers on the track for Tag Master, sponsored by Margay Racing Products. On the pole out of Huntersville, North Carolina, just down the street from here, the Tony Kart number 4 of Chuck Tate. On the outside of Tate, out of Mooresville, the number 6 top cart, Tim Schutt. Inside, row number 2, in the number 04 Aero chassis, out of North Carolina as well, it's Randy Sampson. On the outside, out of Winter Park, Florida, on the Tony Kart, yesterday's Tag Masters winner, it's Scott Roberts. Inside row 3, out of Speedway, Indiana, on a top card, it's 56, Steve Sheaver. And on the outside, out of Cuba, New York, the number 5 PCR chassis, Kim Crepalati. Inside row 4 is Bobby Green. Green out of Florida, on a Maranello, number 85. And on the outside, out of Mooresville, the number 25 Aero, it's Justin Halliday. Inside row number 5 out of Olean, New York, the Haas chassis, number 43, Scott Crepalati. And on the outside, Christopher Rock in the number 38, Swiss Hutless. Steve Frank back there all alone in row number 6. Frank out of Georgia on an Ital cart, number 98. Tag Master set to go 9 laps. Chuck Tate and Tim Schutt up there in row number 1. Yamaha Sportsman is out next. After Yamaha Sportsman will be Perilla Senior, and then Comet Junior will close out your pre-finals before we get to our main events this afternoon. So Tag Masters on the track. Chuck Tate, Tim Schutt in row number 1. Randy Sampson, Scott Roberts, row number 2. Pretty quick pace here as they come down the front stretch, and starter Denny Long just waved him on by. Gotta slow down the pace just a little bit here. So good to see a 12-cart field, or 11 carts today in Tag Masters. A number of North Carolina residents joining the field this weekend. Good to see some local support here at the GoPro Motorplex. First ever Manufacturers Cup event here at the new GoPro Motorplex. Very happy to be here. First ever WKA National here, as this facility nears the end of its inaugural season. And green flag is out, going racing in Tag Masters. Chuck Tate jumps out to the lead. Tim Schutt in second. As they go down the backstretch under speed for the first time, it's Tate, Schutt, and we'll check there who's in third. Sampson, I believe, just ahead of yesterday's winner, Scott Roberts. So the Rotax had to add 10 pounds today. It doesn't make much of a difference in this Tag Masters qualifying. Your top 4 starters all on Rotaxes. Boy, Sampson gets into the back of Schutt there, going into turn number 7. Schutt, though, keeps it straight and continues on in the second spot. Schutt, a local runner, has a lot of laps around here, as does Chuck Tate. Tate out of Huntersville, Schutt residing in Mooresville. So this is the last weekend that the Masters class will be 35 years old and up. Next year it'll be 30 years old and up. And if you're 21 years or older and weigh at least 220 pounds, you'll be allowed to run this division as well. So hopefully that'll boost entry counts in Tag Masters in 2014, as several events this year, there was only 4 or 5 of them. Once again, good to see a dozen showing up here this weekend at Mooresville. And Chuck Tate is out front as he pulls away from Tim Schutt. Now Sampson and Scott Roberts go to the inside of Schutt in turn number 1. And Schutt's going to go back to 4th as Sampson takes over 2nd. Roberts, yesterday's winner, in 3rd. Tim Schutt in 4th. Schutt gets into the back of Roberts back there in turn number 4. They both keep it straight and continue. So Chuck Tate, the owner of Racer Sites, your weekend national sponsor, the Racer Sites Nationals, a website design company located just down the road in Davidson. And Chuck Tate, the owner of Racer Sites, and looking to pick up a Racer Sites Nationals victory here in Tag Masters. Meanwhile, Scott Roberts goes to the inside of Sampson to take over the 2nd spot for a moment. Sampson gets it back as they go down the front stretch and brings Tim Schutt with him. So some good battling there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, with Sampson, Schutt, and Roberts battling it out for the runner-up spot, but that has allowed Chuck Tate to move away even more. A 1.2-second lead last time by for Tate. We'll check the interval this time. So you have a Tony card out front of an Arrow, the top card of Schutt in 3rd, and another Tony card, yesterday's winner, Scott Roberts, in 4th. 4 down, 5 left to go for Chuck Tate. He's in control. in this Tag Masters pre-final. Couple of carts now retiring from this one. Looks like Steve Sheaver on the top card is one of them, and not sure the other as they pull off there around turn 7. Not sure if both mechanical failures or what happened there. So we're down a couple of carts now in Tag Masters pre-final. It's Chuck Tate in control, 1.7 second lead for Tate over Randy Sampson, Scott Roberts, Tim Schutt, and Kim Karapalati rounding out your top 5 as carts all put some space in between one another. No battles on the track right now to report as Tate is in control. Four Rotaxes out front, then Karapalati's 5th on a Leopard. He's 6 laps down now. 2 laps to go this next time by for Chuck Tate. Next class out will be Yamaha Sportsman Comet Kart Sales, sponsored Yamaha Sportsman. You're out next. FranklinKart.com Perla Senior will follow, and Orlando Kart Center Comet Junior will be the 11th and last pre-final to hit the track this afternoon. And then we'll get into our main events. Once again, happy everyone's here this weekend to join us at the 6th and final round of the 2013 WKA Manufacturers Cup, sponsored by Mazda and Bridgestone. And, of course, our weekend sponsor, RacerSites.com. Now we have a battle heating up for the second spot as Roberts has closed the gap on Sampson. Tim Schutt also right there. Second, third, and fourth now. Once again, nose to tail. Add some distance between one another for several laps there, and now it's a battle once again. White flag is out. We'll see if Roberts or Schutt can do anything with Sampson here on the final circuit. Overcast day here in Mooresville. A little chilly for this time of year for the Charlotte area. As Roberts takes a look to the inside of Sampson back there in turn 4. That might have been his one shot. Couldn't make it happen. May have made slight contact back there. Both of them keep going. Schutt runs that wide line on exit to turn 7. We'll see if he can do anything with Roberts here, if they're just going to wait for the final to settle this one. A lot of times that's what you see in this Tag Masters class. The pre-final not meaning a whole lot other than starting position for the main. And these drivers will just save their energy and whatnot for later in the day. Checkered flag is out. The win will go to Chuck Tate. Chuck Tate will be tough to beat in the main event. 48.456, his fastest lap there. Fastest lap of the race by a couple of tenths over Sampson. Sampson will take second. Scott Roberts third. Tim Schutt fourth. Kim Karapalati fifth. Justin Halliday 6th, Christopher Rock 7th, Steve Frank 8th, Steve Sheaver, Bobby Green, and Scott Karapalati all retire early, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Alrighty, now here we go for our Yamaha Sportsman pre-final. 9 laps. Starting row number 1 will be the 08 of Devin Buteau and the 20 of John Paul Southern. Row 2, Sam Meyer and Lance Fenderson. Row 3, Luke Finnis and Brandon Lemke. Row 4, Alex Verhagen and Georgia's Simon Sykes. And row 5, Giovanni Bramante and Alex Lester. Another 9-lap final for these folks. Devin Buteau with his second pole here today on Sunday. Had a pole in the cadet class. So Devin with a pole time 54.718. It's about 1.5 tenths quicker than second place John Paul Southern Jr. So drivers come out of turn 11, look for that green flag, and it's not there this time. Super Dave almost threw the cone at him this time. A little quick on the start. Once again, your front row, Devin Buteau, John Paul Southern. PCR and a Tony kart. So here we go for attempt number 2, Yamaha Sportsman. And the green flag is out. Let's see if we can get through turn 1 without any incident. So far, so good. Devin Buteau is going to jump out to about a 2 to 3 kart length lead already into turn number 3. So take that short straight back to turn 4, the bowl, I guess we'll call it. Southern Jr. will close up to within a kart length now. Those two out to about a 4 or 5 kart length lead over Sam Mayer. Southern Jr. looks to the inside at 8, and he'll take that spot away. Buteau trying the over and under. They'll be side by side up to 9. So move Buteau back to second. Mayer still running in that third spot. Fenderson in 4th. It's actually Lemke in 4th. So at the line, Southern Jr., Buteau, Mayer, Lemke, Fenderson, Alex Verhagen, Luke Finnis, Simon Sykes, Giovanni Bramante, and Alex Lester. As you got a 4 kart breakaway now running nose to tail. We now have realized that 4 karts definitely are quicker than 1. Let's see if they'll run away here from Lance Fenderson if Fenderson can catch back up. Buteau out there looks to be the lone Tony kart in this group. Being hounded by the 2 Merlin karts. Buteau not the best showing yesterday, but he proved he's got something for everybody else this morning with 2 different poles in 2 classes. And an uneventful day yesterday. I think if Buteau could pull out between turns 3 and 4 there and allow Sam Mayer to come with him, he could go right by Southern Jr. Just need to show the nose. Mayer, I bet you, would go right with him, right by. So a group of 4, then Lance Fenderson and another group of 5 drivers. It's led by Alex Verhagen in that third group. So no change up front. We're going to be 3 laps into this race. Quick time 54.346. Devin Buteau just turned that on this lap. Still running in that second spot. A 54.346, only 6 thousandths of a second quicker than your leader, John Paul Southern. Hey, once again, folks, if you're here and you've got friends or family that are not here, they can follow along at worldkarting.com/live or find that live link on the front of the World Karting website, where we've got live video, audio, race monitor, and a live interactive blog. Hey, with Race Monitor, you can follow along anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world with that Race Monitor app. Forget that stopwatch. You get that Race Monitor, you've got the laps of all your competitors too, as long as Race Monitor is running. It's a tussle as they're too wide. And it looks like Simon Sykes takes over a position. I think Luke Fennis also got through there, moved up 1. We'll see as they cross timing and scoring. Up front, it's still Southern, Buteau, Mayer, and Lemke. And the change in the back, yes, it was Fennis and Sykes move up, get around Alex Verhagen. So we've got 4 laps to go. Your top 3 with a little bit of breakaway from Brandon Lemke. Lemke only about 2 kart lengths back, but he'll catch back up probably as they come through this infield section. There it is. That group in the back is now split up as Giovanni Bramante and Luke Fennis have pulled away after that melee there in turn number 8 last time by. Drivers coming to 3 to go this time by. Still quick lap, 54.200 Southern Junior. Lemke goes to the inside in turn number 11, takes that spot away, so move Lemke up to P3. Lemke was running 4th, now to 3. He's got 3 laps to go. Do not count Brandon Lemke out. Southern Junior and Buteau trying to pull away as Lemke is trying to catch up. And they'll close it back up as they come into turn number 6. Watching the fight in the back, a little bumping. That's Luke Fennis on Giovanni Bramante back there for that 6th spot. So Buteau now takes over the lead as they come off turn number 11 with 2 laps to go. Is it too soon? Too little, too late? Southern Junior goes back up front in turn 1. So Buteau may have just learned something there. Find out he can get around. Lemke attaches himself to the back bumper of Buteau. Mayer. Lemke's dropped back about 5 kart lengths, now running 4th. Southern, Buteau, Mayer, and Lemke, your top 4. Coming to the white flag this time by. Will Buto pull out as they come down the front straightaway? Yes, he does. He pulls back in. No protective move by Southern. Still that quick lap holds 54.200. Very protective line going into turn number 3. Buto to the inside. Does he take Mayer with him? Yes, he will. Into turn number 4. So Devin Buto back to the lead. Up through turn 5, now 6. Can he hold on to it? Next passing area is going to be here into turn 8. No protect. There's that protective move into the inside. Southern Junior back to second. Lemke hits the curbs hard. So it's Buto, Southern, Mayer, and Lemke. Looks like Devin Buto is going to come off with a win, about 3-car length lead off turn number 11. Devin Buto will pick up the win here in the pre-final in Yamaha Sportsman. John Paul Southern Jr. second, Brandon Lemke third, Sam Mayer fourth, and Giovanni Bermonte in fifth. All right, here we are. Perilla Sr. going off. Let's see if we got a green flag start first time by. Derek Dignan with his hand up. Looks like he got snickered on the start. That's actually snookered, not snickered. But Dignan will go back up front now as they come through turn number 4. He takes that position away from Jake Johnston. But I'm seeing the 74. That's Dustin Strauss now move up into that 4th spot. And another pass for the lead. Jake Johnston now gets back around Dignan. Dignan says, I'm going to come back up front. And now the brothers Johnston now fight it out for that 2nd spot. Dignan still leads through turn 1 and 2. It's Jake Johnston, Garrett Johnston, 2nd and 3rd. Dustin Strauss in 4th. Cal Stewart and the number 9 slotted into that 5th spot on timing and scoring. Looks like he's still running there. Mark Booth 6th. Scott Ferris in 7th. Scott transferred from the Tag Masters group over into Perilla today. Chandler Horton running 8th. John McCusker in 9th. Austin Harrison 10th. Weirheim to 11th. Nueven in 12th. I don't know if Nueven is off. Looks like he might have gone by once. Do not see him on timing and scoring anymore. But Jake Johnston has gotten around. And I missed a big shuffle now because it's Johnston, Strauss, Stewart, Garrett Johnston, and Mark Booth, your top 5. So big shuffle as I was reading off names. We got a Tony cart out there. There's a meatiness sandwich of a top cart. Cal Stewart to the inside of Strauss, takes that position away. Strauss going to try an over and under, and he'll take that. Comes back into second. Jake Johnston with a 0.6 of a second line last time by. 0.6 of a second lead at the line. It's going to be a second plus this time by. Johnston still running in that second spot. A pointed black flag. Looks like at the 16 Weirheim. So it's Johnston, Strauss, Cal Stewart. And that looks like Dustin Strauss and Cal Stewart. That was second and third. Have taken each other out into turn number 1. So Jake Johnston's going to be a 2.5 plus clear. So a bit of a shakeup. Looks like Strauss may be hurting just a little bit down there as he's still on the ground. So Mark Booth, the recipient of second place now. Scott Ferris will move up into third. Dignan in fourth. Garrett Johnston fifth. And the battle is there for second. That's Booth, Ferris, and Dignan. Dignan running in that 4th spot in that FA cart. He looks to the inside, and he'll back out. Ferris still continues to run that 3rd spot. 5 laps to go. It'll be 4 laps to go this time by. 1.8 second lead last time by for Jake Johnston over Mark Booth. So no change your top 5. Chris Weirheim has gotten up to 7th, as well as Austin Erickson. Both got around Chandler Horton. Derek Dignan pounding on the back there of Scott Ferris, trying to get around. Ferris once again transferring from Tag Masters into this Parilla group. Four laps to go. That lead is now 1.9 seconds. Coming to 2 laps to go this time by. Closest battle on the track is that for second. Again, that's between Booth, Ferris, and Dignan. Dignan now to the inside of Ferris. He's looked the last 4 laps, but unable to do a late breaking move to make the pass in turn number 8. Very, very evenly matched carts. So once again, top cart 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Dignan to the inside, turn 3. Ferris runs off, so Dignan will make it by. So move Dignan up into that 3rd spot. He gets around Scott Ferris. Let's see, with a lap and a half to go, can Derek Dignan get around one more cart? Now Weirheim up behind the Scott Ferris. Excuse me, that's Garrett Johnson now. Garrett Johnson now looking to make a move up around Scott Ferris if he can as the white flag flies. Your top 10, Johnston, Booth, Dignan, Ferris, Garrett Johnston, Chris Weirheim, John McCusker, Chandler Horton, Austin Erickson, and Cal Stewart. Cal Stewart out, still listed in that 10th spot. So both Stewart and Strauss out in a turn 1 incident. Just 3 more turns to go. Mr. Jake Johnston will pick up a pre-final win here in Perilla Senior. It was 2 seconds flat last time by. There you have it. Your winner under black and checkered conditions. Jake Johnston will pick up your win. Mark Boos in second. Derek Dignan in third. Scott Ferris fourth. And Garrett Johnston in fifth. Quick lap. Derek Dignan with a 47.733. Alrighty, up next will be our Orlando Kart Center Comet Junior. Will be our last class out for a pre-final. Hey, that means that Yamaha Senior, you're up next for your final. Want to go ahead and start pushing them up, please. Yamaha Senior, your final is next. Comet Junior, row number 1 may be Gresham Wagner and Austin McCusker. Row number 2 will be Alexander Kardashian and David Malukas. Row 3, Neil Verhagen and Zach Holden. Row 4, Adam Sturgill and Matt Solarczyk. Row 5, Killian Keaveney and Derek Wojcik. And row number 6 will be Dario Conglioso.
don't see too many event t-shirts out there, but now's your chance to go pick one up. Special select group of event t-shirts, past event t-shirts that are available for $5 each. Go see the WKA trailer and pick you up an event t-shirt.
So here we go, our final pre-final of the morning, or actually afternoon now. It's 2 o'clock. Gresham, Wagner, Austin McCusker will lead them off. So we've got a Haas and an Aero Kart leading the way. Green flag is out. A little shuffling on the outside of Austin McCusker, who actually gets airborne but holds on to that third spot. He was 4 wheels in the air. I believe that's Malukas now that gets around him in that 79 kart. So Gresham Wagner picks up the lead. He's got the 55 of Alexander Kardashian right behind him. McCusker running in fourth. Matt Slarzik started in that 7th spot, already up to 4th. One lap completes. Wagner, Kardashian, Malukas, McCusker, Solarczyk, Verhagen, Holden, Sturgill, Wojcik, Kivny, and Cagliosi. McCusker and Solarczyk looking a little racy as they came through turn 3 into turn 4. Yamaha Senior, you're on grid, please, for your final. Bring them up. Yamaha Senior, you're on grid for your final. A little beating and banging around the back. Holden, Sturgill, Wojcik. So no change up front, sort of status quo. Sturgill and Killian Kivny and Darian Cagliosi got around the number 2 of Zach Holden. Derek Wojcik has dropped back to that 11th spot. So you've got a 6-kart breakaway, followed by a 4-kart breakaway. To the inside. Wagner back to the lead. Malukas up into that 2nd spot. To the inside, Verhagen looks to the inside of the 55. Can he get it done? Now move Neil Verhagen up into that 3rd spot. He gets around Alexander Kardashian. So now it's a top card in the middle of a aero sandwich. Verhagen to the inside in turn 4, and he'll take the lead. Now it's Malukas, through turn number 4. He'll take the lead. But Verhagen now to the inside of turn 8, and he'll take over the lead. Now Verhagen, Malukas, Wagner, your top 3 with a little bit of breakaway. And they're going to go across the line 2 wide, the 91 of Neil Verhagen and Alexander Kardashian. Looks like Kardashian will take that spot away, move him up to 3rd. Soon going to be another 6-way battle for 1st, and they're side by side through turn number 4. Kardashian, the big loser on that, he'll drop back into that 6th spot. Malukas still in the lead. Wagner looking for some help from teammate Neil Verhagen. McCusker has now moved up in that 4th spot. Be 3 laps to go this time by. Gresham Wagner takes over the top spot, runs off the road, and they'll switch back and forth. So Malukas leading into turn number 1 with Gresham Wagner right behind him. McCusker takes over that 3rd spot. Solarczyk had 4th, but Neil Verhagen took that spot back away coming out of turn number 3. Kardashian's going to fight back and get around Mr. Solarczyk and ask for a little bit of help. So Wagner now lead, McCusker 2nd, Malukas 3rd, Verhagen 4th, Kardashian 5th and 6th. It's Matt Solarczyk. So you can't go by what's on your race monitor screen because it changes corner after corner. 2 to go this time by. McCusker looks to the inside. Takes that top spot away. So Austin McCusker now in the lead as they come down between turns 3 and turn 4. Looks like he'll hold on to that lead. To the inside, Wagner looks to the inside of McCusker, has got that move, takes David Malukas and Neil Verhagen with him, and there's Alexander Kardashian. He's going to try, and that is going to fail for him as Matt Solarczyk gets around Kardashian. So it's Wagner, Malukas, Verhagen, McCusker. They're 3 wide going into turn number 1. And that was Mr. Verhagen trying to get away with it. McCusker threw the grass to the outside of the chicane in turn number 2, and he loses. He's all the way back to that 6th spot. So he came across in 4th, had led the previous lap. So that is David Malukas now leading the way. He's got Neil Verhagen in right beside him as they come through turn number 8. Malukas taking a very protective line, a little contact. Neil Verhagen gets around. He takes team member Gresham Wagner with him. As they got around coming through turn number 10. They're off 11. Verhagen looks to the inside. Checkered flag will fly. So it's Neil Verhagen takes the win. Gresham Wagner in 2nd. David Malukas 3rd. Alexander Kardashian 4th. And in 5th, Matt Solarczyk.
Yamaha Senior needed on grid for your final. Yamaha Senior, Helmet Sportsman, your free grid.